Hey everybody, welcome. We are going to jump into a best of 3 Zendikar Rising draft. Narrow voting all around in chat today, with Zendikar narrowly beating Kaladesh, and then best of 3 narrowly beating best of 1, but this is where we have landed. We're here, we were chatting a long time about music today. I love my chat. They're a great group of awesome people who hang out with me here live and chat a little bit before, during, and after playing some Magic. We're at the during stage now. I did, while we're here, though, I wanted to jump into, because one of the things we were talking about in chat is new stuff you can get in the store. So I figured I would jump in here and show y'all some codes we can redeem here in the store. I'm going to hop to this view to get out of your way a little bit, and you can see, but basically there's these Bob Ross land codes. So we got Delightful Meadow, all one word. Boom. Bob Ross land. We've got Island Wilderness is another one. Island Wilderness. Pretty. Somebody tell me about these. I think I asked this, but then didn't see the response that when we were talking about these before. Are these new? Do these exist in paper? Was this created for paper, or is this digital only? Is this a secret layer drop? Okay, secret layer. Cool. So this is a secret layer drop, and we're going to move mountains. Great idea. And actually, you know, they're very, the nature of Bob Ross's art is very old school Magic landscape, so it works on that front quite nicely, I think. Yeah, I'm with Radiant, I want Banksy lands. That'd be sweet. Although I'll reiterate my problem. All these lands are sweet, but these old school frames, which they are adhering to out of nostalgia, make them very difficult to read on the battlefield. So unfortunately, I am not digging these land bundles in the old school frames because they read so poorly on the battlefield. Now that is completely fixable. Like, because the only thing identifying this as green once you get the big box on the bottom away is the little green pin line. But part of what they're selling here is nostalgia. And when you change something that you're selling as nostalgia, you remove the nostalgia. So it's a tough call from an art direction standpoint. I don't necessarily have the answer. I think that I guess I would find a way to, I would like an effect on the battlefield, maybe some glow underneath, something on the battlefield itself that maybe doesn't, the card itself gets to be its pristine nostalgia old school self, but maybe there's something underneath it or exuding from it in an effects kind of way that communicates color. And then I'd be totally in. I just don't love that they don't communicate color well as is. I do have one more Bob Ross to get, though. Oh, no, did I get Happy Swamp? I got Happy Swamp. Okay, I think I got them all. And then also I wanted to point out we have I think there's 0, is it daily deal? No. Pack? Bundles. Where? There's... Oh, I already did it. There, for those on a different account, I hadn't done the 0. You know, when a new set comes out for 0 gems, you can come get the basics of the set. So I was going to call that out too. But anyway, so we got some sweet new lands to consider for our drafting. And if you want some sweet new lands for your tabletop Magic game, you have an incredible selection and variety at cardkingdom.com. They are my sponsor. They have been for a while now. You can check them out via my affiliate link in the chat there, in the panels down below, in my Twitch page, and of course in the notes of the YouTube video. They all have links to Card Kingdom from my affiliate link, and that associates your future business with my stream and helps keep me on the air, helps keep Card Kingdom pleased with me. And you'll be pleased with them if you give them a chance to earn your business. You're not going to buy from them every single time, maybe. There's a lot of competition out there, and you got to look for the best price, best value. But in the dark, if I'm going to guess at who's going to provide that, I'm going to guess Card Kingdom. I check there first every time for everything I need, and I never regret it. So keep doing that, and check out Card Kingdom on my behalf, and we'll keep this train rolling. Right now, we're going to jump in here. Traditional drafts in Zendikar Rising. We have 10,000 gold, so we get to jump in and play on house money today. Love that. Hop into draft mode here. What is standing in the way of Arena allowing me to pick my default lands? Someone in a position of power prioritizing that feature above everything else they have currently above it. I mean, it's that simple, right? It's not a very satisfying answer, but it's just prioritization. No feature is free. There's the idea, well, can't you just flip this? It's got to be easy. Nothing is easy on enterprise level software. Nothing is easy when you're changing software whose continuing functionality pays for the salaries of a burn rate that is insane, right? So nothing is taken on lightly. It's not to say they can't and shouldn't make that change, Robert. I'm just saying these are the things that end up pushing it, keeping it down on the list. But by having like default sleeves, they should, that's the frustrating part. They've got the tech there to default stuff, right? That's the frustrating part. Anyway, let's figure out how we're going to frustrate our opponents. We can start on Zagras. It's gold, but it's at least in a color pair I enjoy playing. And we can see if we end up there. Just not marry this guy, but know that if the lane is open, this is an excellent payoff to being in this color pair. And I like Stonework Pack Beast for flexibility. Grow Tag Bug Catcher, obviously a great little aggro beater. Night Runner has been less good than I thought it would be, actually. We made it do some things yesterday that were okay. Love a Blood Priest, but I think like basically after Zagras you have Grow Tag, Stonework, and Malakir, which is unfortunate because that means for me the second, third, and fourth picks out of this pack go in this deck, but we're still going to take it. Yeah, maybe we'll wheel something. Here, though, I think we just want a Royal Eruption to match the red. It's generically good in any deck. The Scion and Expedition Healer and Relic Vial being here suggests that the parts for a good Cleric deck are, at least in this pack, so these types of cards being in this pack could put some people just downstream to us into, yeah, good Spland also, Jinx. But yeah, I think matching Zagras with the Royal is correct here. If we did have, like, I don't know, if we had some great green bomb, I'd probably take the Recovery, but Royal Eruption's so hard to pass. Pick two. Anyway, I'm just saying we may send some people into black through the Cleric's path downstream, but it's something to keep in mind, but doesn't change anything here. We can take a Mystic on power level. This is a Cleric land. Like, this is another good build around. If we do, if we abandon Zagras and ended up in blue-red spells, we would love the Royal Eruption Mystic plan. But we could also just take a Vanquish. Vanquish matches everything we've got going, matches our first pick. So I said don't marry this, but frankly, we've gone from Royal Eruption, premium common, to Vanquish, super solid common. I think it's not forcing it here to pass up a gold card to take the Vanquish. What can we do with this? We've got a Shadow Stinger in black, which is more, well, it could be, if we're just trying to get general party stuff, we could do it. It helps with that, but it's not great. I kind of wish this were just a Grow Tag Bug Catcher and we'd snap that up. You could make an argument. I guess Vanquish is our only mono black card, so maybe I was thinking we could try to become the Cleric deck too. Chat saying Shadow Stinger is fine, but it is only fine unless you're doing the rogues thing. Ambusher is interesting suggestion. I'm gonna go with the Stinger over it. I don't want too many of these. They don't play well in multiples, but worth calling out that that's a real card for sure. There's a Feed the Swarm here. There's another Shadow Stinger. We could get more onto the rogue side of things. Fireblade Charger, Expedition Champ, both warriors. Fireblade Charger better in kind of a Zagras deck. Like, it gives your creatures Death Touch, so Fireblade Charger could kill two things. But I think we just want Feed. Good removal. Scorch Rider, the best on color thing here. We could also take a Diviner in case we get kind of forced into, like, this is kind of late for this. Scorch Rider is so replaceable, there's some part of me that wants to hedge, but none of the things we'd be hedging for are particularly super fine. So yeah, I guess Rider is good enough. It's good enough. More to the point, none of these are so good that we should hedge towards anything here, because we're not close to this and we're not close to this. So it would have to be a much stronger signal to abandon a playable. Relic Axe. I think we're going to have a lot of warriors here. We could just take the Spellcraft to get some removal, but we're in red-black, which is the removal colors, and I feel like this is actually more replaceable to the deck than this, because we have Vanquish, Royal, and Feed already, and we have multiple packs to go. This deck is not... I don't think this deck is going to be shy on removal, so I'm going to hedge the Axe in case we end up heavier on the Warriors. If we end up heavy Warrior, this will be a good inclusion, and it didn't cost us that much to grab it. Fissure Wizard, Molten Blast. These are both about the same for me in terms of, Molten Blast, again, though, suffering a little bit in the company of black, where we can expect to get some great removal. The thing I like about the Wizard is it adds a 2-drop, playable 2-drop for us, and it's working for the party. Like, we don't have any Wizards yet. So I think we take Wizard over the removal. Hey, Bugcatcher, hello, friend. That came back around. I was calling that out in the first pack as one of my top handful of cards in the pack. So really, really glad to see this back. Skitter Sneak could see play in this deck. We could grab a Sentinel in case of Subtle Strike potentialities, but I think Skitter Sneak is fine. You like Sentinel for the board. I'm going to take a first Skitter Sneak. You want the Sentinel? Why is it for the board? All right, I'll take it. I don't think we like either of those cards for this deck. How about I do this? And then, interesting here, Sneaking Guide for Curve Out Rogue or Colossus. This is a change for me. I am going to take the guide. This is the type of deck where I can get behind a guide. And then I think those Colossi come by pretty late. I just feel like we can pick up, although we can pick up guides too. They're both pretty easy to grab. Like, almost think the correct pick between guide and Colossus there is whatever we're not going to see more of the rest of the draft. But of course, we don't know what that is. I'm going to throw this in the board. We're going to try to not play it. And yeah, the guide is really a combo with Electromancers that we haven't seen yet, but we hope to. Here's what I'm talking about. In fact, we could take it here. There is a Land Rogue, though, and I think we've cut things pretty well. I bet we could wheel this, although if we don't, it's going to be a disappointment. But I think we got to take the Rogue Land. We're doing party stuff. It's a party creature on a land. Love it. Yeah, that late bug is what has me hoping we get some hookup on Electromancers late here. Well, I think we take Awakening. Blood Priest would be great in our deck. Soaring Thought Thief, if we had gone down a rogue path, is a very nice card. But this is... Fenner says Priest is better than Mythic. You read that, right? Like, it does a lot of cool stuff. I don't... I'm surprised to hear you say that, gang. This is a land that if you draw it late and have 6 mana, gets you back a 3, a 2, and a 1. It's real good. I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it to you all. Prove to you all how good that is. Blood Beckoning also good. Ghost Hunter, okay. I've been liking Ghost Hunter in the Cleric deck where it can provide a source of lifelink early. Not low on Wizards. Also, I want to try and wheel these. I think first Blood Beckoning over first Wizard. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? And in fact, we could take a Demon's Disciple. It adds a creature type. We sack our Sneaking Guide. You know, it becomes something we can bring back. Fenner likes the Drain. Interesting. Mind Drain has been very good, but I like... The Disciple is uncommon. It's a Cleric. We don't have a lot of Clerics yet. In fact, I don't think we have any. No Clerics. I'm taking the Cleric. Yeah, I would take a Drain for sure. I just want first Cleric over first Drain. Here's a Seagate Colossus we could grab. There's another Ambusher. Ambusher is underwhelming, but I'd play one. We could take an Ambusher. Let's take an Ambusher and hope we wheel those, we get some Electromancers. Having, you know, obviously you'd rather have the Bug Catcher, but a poor mage's Bug Catcher and Ambusher is okay for the party curve out. Yeah, Colossus is the choice. It's Colossus or Ambusher. I'm going with the inherently cheaper card, especially since we already do have one nice payoff for... We have a big top-end payoff for party already. Like, this is our Colossus. So I already have a Colossus in the job. Feed the Swarm is a nice pickup here. There's another Sneaking Guide. It's not the land for us, but we just take another Feed. Another Bug Catcher, great get. That's what we're looking for. Another Molten Blast we're passing, but not passing a Bug Catcher. All right, we're coming around on the wheel, and next pick we're hoping is an Electromancer. We're crossing our fingers and hoping for Electromancer. And I'm going to take a Tormenting Voice here out of a pack we don't like over like the Snake. Oh, maybe it was it this? Maybe it was the next pack, or was it this one? Maybe we didn't get the Electromancer back. Boo. Fissure Wizard still good though, which I like over another Scorch Rider. Here's another kind of strictly worse Scorch Rider. I'll throw it in the graveyard for now, or not, or sideboard. Another Wizard. Well, we're loaded up on solid 2s. Just having a nice low-down curve that's really going to, I think, make the Awakening good when we can get to 6 mana. This is, like, going to be here anyway. And yes, I would like it. I'd like another Colossus for sure. We have another pack to find it though, so I feel like we can find it. Charger out of the rare slot looks interesting, but maybe we do just want a Blood Priest. We're gonna try and wheel this Colossus here. What do you think about Blood Priest at 2 versus the flexible rare? Is Charger just better? We haven't wheeled any of these Blood Priests, so I feel like if we're going to get these, we do need to prioritize them early here. I think the curve argument is a good one. We're pretty stacked at playable 2s now, so we can take the Charger. It also maybe helps play the Relic Axe. We got a random 2-drop Rogue here. Our 2-drops are quite full, but there's not really anything else for us unless we want to go for a Silencer. This is not unplayable in a party deck, but I don't think we prioritize it here. Tron's like, Roost. No, someone's gonna be real happy they carved out the blue lane, but it is not us. Really? Fenor's on Silencer. Well, I think we'll wheel at Fenor, and then maybe we can talk about running both if we want. Predation. I like a Subtle Strike here, though, over anything I'm seeing. We have 1 axe already. I don't think we're going to take... I don't think we're going to play 2 if we play the 1. And Subtle Strike is nice, cheap interaction that can really... The thing about a low curve deck... Lots of 2s, lots of 3s. We're going to pretty consistently dump a 2 on 2, a 3 on 3, and then if we're on the play, hopefully we're attacking an opponent on 4 with 4 mana up, and that's where having a Subtle Strike is incredible, because you can blow out their blocks and then drop another 2-drop. So, great card to have in a hyper aggro situation like this. Another feed is... maybe starting to push the limits of our life totals, but we also don't care about our life total too much if we want to yeah, Royal would be obviously much better. I think we can take the Blast here. That's fair. The thing is, if you're aggro enough, you don't really care about the life loss, but you can't guarantee that you're going to be aggro all the time. So Molten Blast weirdly here is fine, but only because of the context of where we're at. We got a mace. I suppose we're supposed to take that. It's like our big payoff. I don't know if we're actually doing the 4-party thing that well. We've got 1 cleric, 5 rogues, 5... yeah, we're low on clerics, but mace is going to be good. It's not a huge payoff, but yeah, I think we take out the axe and we go ahead and rerun that mace. Hey, Electromancer, we were talking about you. I would like a Mind Drain. I'd like another Subtle Strike, but this is a linchpinny type card here. I'm sad we didn't get more of them. We could take the Scion. We don't have a lot of life gain, but it is a cleric. It's not an exciting one. A 3/3 flyer, if we're not gaining life, doesn't do much. But we're not playing Inordinate Rage or Constrictor, so I'll take it in case. We may face this is best of 3 as well. I could see a world where Oppo has so much flying that we're willing to play a 3/3 flyer for 5 just to have some better defense in the air. Highborn that we don't want to play, or another Inordinate Range. Why am I so down on Constrictor? Because if I'm not aggressively putting +1/+1 counters on things, it's a Grey Ogre, which is bad. Oh, did I misread it? I thought it was a 2/2. If it's a 2/3, it's not so bad. I thought Constrictor was a 2/2. Yeah, well, 2/2 is not a 2/3. I mean, that's huge. 2/3 can actually block stuff. Oh, did I miss Colossus? I was looking away. Sorry, Fenor. I should have taken Colossus. That was a distraction. I was down to a couple seconds and saw Fissure Wizard and grabbed it. Mistake draft. I like our deck anyway, though. I like the deck anyway. I think you're wrong, Jinx. I think we take 1 Colossus here. Second thing to pay off our party would be fine. Because, yeah, certainly I'm not playing for wizards. I think that's the fundamental thing, Jinx, is that even if you're... Oh, you got some grind. I don't think we're playing for fissure wizards, so it might as well have taken a Colossus to have it in our arsenal. I just truly didn't see it. If I had, I would have taken it. I even called trying to wheel it, and we did. Deck still looks good, though. Minor little thing. And we're going to be straight red. We paid gold to enter. And we already have profit. It's a gold entry day, so we get profit before we even start. Check it out. Well, that's a pig. You get a free pig and profit. All right, now let's actually build a deck here. We have the one spell land. And I think this is actually a 17er. I kind of like this. But we do have a rogue. So this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Except, counting the rogue as a creature and not a land is fine here. 2, cutting a rage. Looking at our numbers overall, 16-9. Would like to cut... Yeah, I think we cut the fissure wizard that I was talking about. The Shadow Stinger's pretty whatever, but people, I mean, it can block. It adds to party stuff, and it does turn on the Expedition Skulker. I think it's doing enough to run here over the stuff I'm seeing in the board. Let's see. I mean, I guess we have 5 rogues. I was thinking we had fewer rogues than that. It is pretty weak. I think I'll pull this one. I'm going to cut this stinger. And then we're talking about what to add here. Give me your candidates to add. Anybody can call out anything that they would add as the final piece here. And I'll do a quick poll. So I hear, for example, Rage is 1. Wiz, W-I-Z, for the 4th Fissure Wizard. I'm going to go Scion, if you feel like we should just add a Cleric. Blood for the Blood price, because it's totally reasonable to think that this deck might want to refill a bit. Close it out. Refill and close out. And then, yeah, I'll add Stinger in case people want to put the Stinger back. So, Rage, Wiz, Scion, Blood, Stinger. Looking for any other nominations. Pad wants to add a land. That's fair. I'll put land on the list. And we have, and I'll show you our numbers here. I'll start the poll and show you the stats as you decide here. We have 1 cleric, 4 rogues, 5 warriors, 4 wizards currently. You can think of card draw as a control type feature, but refilling aggro after it's curved out is a real thing for aggro too. Explaining that, Jinx. You can think of card draw as a control mechanism, but even aggro decks can like to draw cards if it's going to draw you the reach to finish off the game. If it's about finding Zagras, we do have Fissure Wizard digging, so... Interesting. Let's see. Now I need to do a poll off. We'll do a 30-second poll for Blood versus Stinger. Super interesting. Fenor is not happy with this result. Going with democracy here, Fenor, but I will certainly keep your vote in mind. I mean, this is the nice thing about this. Well, I guess if we add... yeah, actually, regardless of what we add, we can ask ourselves about all of these candidates. So, for example, Fenor pretty strongly feels that we should be running this Inordinate Rage. So, for Fenor, if we draw the Blood... So we're going to run the Blood. If we draw the Blood price, you can imagine your vote instead and see how it goes. So there will be Blood, obviously, is the name of the deck. Stinger does more than Ryder, says Jinx. I don't know if I agree with that. You see, this thing does have 4 power and sometimes haste. But we'll keep that in mind too. So Jinx would rather have... when we see the Scorch Rider, Jinx can imagine the Stinger. We can see how that feels. Yeah, let's see. That's a good point. All of our splans are black, so we definitely want to do this and this. And then I'm going to check for bling. Bob Ross lands. Sure thing. Oh, wait. Do we already have... Yeah, there already are Bob Ross lands. Never mind. So it doesn't have default lands, but it does default you to the lands you most recently purchased, looks like. Is there... Have you all not read this card? Like, I don't understand the hate, or the, like, people are super excited about things like Thwart the Grave, but you're not cool with Thwart the Grave that can be a swamp when you need it to be? Not everybody. Some people are on my page. I'm just, and forgive me if my incredulity comes off the wrong way for anybody. I'm calling out where we see things differently because I think that's one of the most interesting things about the stream is how we're all competent players here, competent to good to great in some cases. And even the great players can see the same things so differently that it's just why this game is so fascinating. So anyway, we're here. We got everything there. Yep. I like it. There may be blood is also funny, but since the result of the poll was to play the blood, there will be blood. We're here. Let's par poll this. I'm giving you all the benefit of the doubt of being competent. If you don't think you are, shh, just fake it till you make it. All right. Yeah, Fenor would have the choice when I did take the mythic land was Blood Priest or mythic land, so we'll see. Sneezy with a Hellhound. Hellhound, when you've mulliganed to 5, can't be a good sign, because you're going to be short on lands or spells, and either one is not going to be great for a turn 1 Hellhound. That was, no, the Modal Rogue we took over Electromancer and tried to wheel the Electromancer and failed. Right? Yeah, it was definitely Priest versus Awakening, because I remember Fenrir feeling pretty strong about that one. Oh yeah, we're gonna put a counter on our Bug Catcher and kill the Hellhound. But there's no immediate hurry to do that. In general, when you're on like turn 2, and you can play a spell or kill something, if it's not urgent to kill the thing, or play your creature. Play your creature out. So here we're going to kill the Vine Gecko before it gets going. We're going to use the Feed the Swarm for that. And then next turn, hopefully we draw a 2-drop and have Subtle Strike plus a 2-drop. Yeah, we can swing. There's no world in which they block, but if they do, we'll take it, right? So let's give them the offer. Yeah. I'm just saying they're not going to block, and then we'll kill it. There's no way they block. If they block, Sneezy should really come watch with us and join our chat and become better at this game. Wow, okay. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. If Sneezy knows they have no kicker, then they may think of this as a grizzly bear. So if I do want to say that. I think this is a mistake block, but if they have like no reward for the gecko, this is fine. This is understandable that they would do this, but it's a huge blowout and exactly what I was talking about with the value of Subtle Strike in this type of deck. Not only a 2-for-1, a 2-for-1 for 2 mana that leaves our creature better than it was when we started the turn, right? I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, that's fair, Jinx. Maybe they're just feeling like they needed to try and trade off for the Bug Catcher ASAP, given their being behind on cards. So easy for me seeing everything and being in a position of power to suggest that my opponent isn't doing it right, but they may be doing it exactly right given the circumstances of their situation. Here we're going to start on Wizard pitching a Swamp. Play one. We do have double red, though. And this is far away from being... I was not worried about, like, the Awakening mana. We don't even have anything to get with it. Like, we're so far from casting this that I wasn't really worried about that. I'm gonna Vanquish. Feed, it might be correct to feed. What do you like, feed or Vanquish? Because Vanquish... This gets more things, but the bigger they get, the harder they hurt us. But maybe we don't care about our life total. Yeah, we don't care about our life total, so we'll do it this way. This can get anything, so it's more flexible. It just can really hurt if the thing is big. The thing is, we don't care. We have the resources to take that shot. Hey, buddy. I think it's just GG, right? Unless they've got something. But it was lethal anyway. We had trample. Looks like red-green landfallish, a vine gecko, but we didn't see much of their cards. We don't know if this vine gecko is doing something for them or more just. I mean, there's a lot of kicker in green, so it's probably just. Vine gecko does something for every color, so it's probably not going to be at its best. It's not. It's at its best in blue-green kicker, but it's not going to do nothing. I bet. Yeah, that mold of 5 didn't give him much of a chance with our draw. Do we do anything differently here? Don't need a flyer. We can mix it up. We can bring in other people's thoughts in terms of trying an inordinate rage. Yeah, I think I'm just looking for something to do. You're never playing blood on the draw? Why do you think that? Let's talk about the game theory behind not liking it on the draw. This is all right. We get Catcher into Mancer into Wizard with any other land, so we're going to keep. Perfect. Found our land, and it's black. I was always going to Bug Catcher. I'd rather go Bug... Or were you talking about 4? Like, my sequencing was going to be cross fingers for any land. Even if it was a mountain, go Bug Catcher into Mancer into Wizard. But looks like we get that. Yeah, okay. We're on the same page then. I thought you might be suggesting doing it now. Yeah, interesting. So, is that a splash? Is this a 3-color monstrosity? What's going on here? I can't remember what they played for red to determine what the splash was or wasn't. Uh-oh. They gonna counter this? Okay. Gonna pitch a mountain here. Well, there you go. If you got Roiling Regrowth, you can do a lot of splashing. Let's see if they come up with extra splashy. Yeah, I was gonna say there might be a 5-color thing going on here. Well, they're certainly set up to cast their hand. Yeah, is that Omnath mana? Bring it. Bring Omnath. I want it. Wait a sec, where is it? Fissure Witter is pretty great. Do we want to make a trade here? Yeah, I'm going to just try to trade off for the Survivor. I think that's fine. We have Blood Beckoning and stuff, so we kind of want to trade anyway. In fact, there's an argument to trade both. And then Blood Beckoning it all back. It gives us a play for next turn. I mean, we have Subtle Strike to take care of the Elemental, though. That's the thing. The only reason I would do it is that it gives us a clean kicker Blood Beckoning next turn for 2 creatures, right? Whereas if we don't do it, then next turn we may be like looking to draw or doing a weird subtle strike. You know, anyway, that's the thinking. But yeah, we don't need to rush the blood beckoning either. We can take it a little more patiently here. Oh, nice. Spell land being valuable here. Now, they're somewhat racing here. We're obviously going to offer our Electromancer for that thing. And then drop the Rogue. If they keep spitting out lands, they are... If they add land every turn and add another threat, they can start to push us on the race. But we have this Vanquish, so they need to add a threat that is 4+ power. And can they even attack here? It's not full songs. That was... I don't know. Well, let's just erupt the Baloth and try and secure this win. Oh, face for the win. Sorry. Let's secure the win with a... You know me. Look. But I could control the board for one more turn. I don't understand why nobody wants to control the board for another turn with me. No, face is why this card is so good, right? This is one of the great strengths of the Royal Eruption and why it's considered to be so good. Is it you can go? It's removal plus Lava Axe. Dionysus, the powers that be are scouring Twitch streams for background music and full songs. Whether or not, I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer, but I also believe that if I were to be confronted about use of music in 4-second memes, I don't think it would ever cost me my channel. It's possible that some artist would demand I take it down, stop using it, or stop getting royalties off of it. But I do not believe that that running 4-second meme clips is risking my stream, whereas playing entire songs does. That's the bottom line. Exactly. I feel like if anything, I would get a cease and desist, or my video, if they did a past broadcast check on my old content, they would say, you can't monetize this old content. But believe me, I'm not, the older my videos get, the less monetized they are anyway. So if it came to it, I would just accept lack of monetization on the old stuff and change it, you know, and yeah, that was a Shatter Skull smashing they misused. Hey, Brib Rob. Yesterday we went 2-2 in a challenge we did where we did the draft, but then I finished up a challenge where I had started off stream and was 4-0, and we actually 6-0'd that one. So I did get to a 6-0, but not on the one that I drafted yesterday. All right. Even though I could have controlled the board for longer, I did win. So we'll call that 1-0 and jump in for the second match. Yep, I've been burned by crazy damage distribution, although there was no... Like, did they not tap out? That's the other thing. Like, I don't know. If they tapped out, I think they just did bad math. Yeah. Got the play. That's nice. And we're going to keep this. If given the chance, I'm going to wizard away a swamp looking for mountain. If we find another mountain, we might not wizard away anything. Depends. Let's see. Yep. Hey, we found a second mountain. So now we do have to decide, do we want to pitch another swamp? We do have a swamp spell land in the deck, so having swamps is good. We don't have that yet, though. I'm inclined to pitch a swamp. Yeah, more mountains. If we knew that, of course, we'd pitch a mountain, but we had to be sure of getting our double red for the charger. If Oppo comes up with anything, we'll probably just disciple it away and kill our own wizard. That honestly doesn't do that much. Maybe we go rogue here. We can go mountain rogue. Well, we can go charger, but given that we drew something that could stick, I like playing something that sticks. And then getting to this on turn 5. You'd not swing? I think I'm into the swinging. Although you kind of want... I guess... yeah, I'm going with rogue. Then the question is swing or not. I guess then I should answer that first. Jinx says swing for sure. Hodge says don't swing. I think I'm definitely playing the rogue. The question is, are we offering wizard for the guide? We have a couple of ways to get stuff out of the graveyard. If we get rid of their guide, the demon's disciple is going to get something better. So between the opportunity to push damage, the fact that we have multiple graveyard recursion spells, and the fact that demon's disciple could get something better, I'm willing to offer this trade. Yeah, that's fine. I wanted that. I think that was correct. Hodge doesn't. Hodge, why do you like holding? Do you think it's better for our party stuff? What are you, can you talk why you're holding there? Well, we can go Electromancer into Disciple. I think that's worth it. Or you can do Electromancer into Charger too, also works. We can absolutely double spell. The question is, what do we want to double spell? I'm going to do it this way. Chimero likes Disciple. Some people like Charger. Yeah, we can just get this wizard. We can let our own Electromancer die. Might end up... Yeah, I like Disciple. I'm going to do it. Well, we do have... I mean, we can sack itself. Yeah, I'll sack itself. And if we find a basic land, then we get Charger for keeps. I like that. Jinx likes getting in more damage, but I think that this play gets in more damage over the course of the game. It doesn't get in more damage this turn, but over the course of the game, I think it does get in more damage. All right, we didn't find our land, but we found a nice 2-drop, so we can feed 2-drop and keep the damage going. Now, a land, basic land would be perfect to get this for keeps, but we can play this for 3, and it's almost as good at this life total. I mean, no land next turn we swing for $1 billion, right? We just have to return this to hand, but at this point in the game, now that's barely even a drawback. Never a drawback, says Jinx. So it's just upside? According to Jinx, I should never kick this because it's never a drawback to have it returned to hand. Jinx, you funny. We're going to go another bug catcher, attack rogue, get him to 11, continue to build out the board wide, and then drop the hasty when it matters. Jinx, do you hear your own hyperbole? Can you open your eyes and acknowledge that never is incorrect? Can you see that to say that it is never a drawback to bounce this to your hand is just wrong? Can you own that, or can you not even see that that's obviously wrong? I know it's hyperbole. I'm just curious if you get that you're being hyperbolic, or if you actually believe that. I don't even know. Okay, I truly just asking, like, do you really believe that, or are you being hyperbolic to make a point? And it's okay that you're being hyperbolic to make a point. I'm just trying to understand. The problem I have with that, like, let's say we draw a basic land and decide to try the Jinx strategy of only playing it for 3 and letting it bounce. My problem is that when we draw a 4-drop or something after that, and then we're like, shoot, now I can't play the 4-drop. If I had just full cast the Charger, I'd be able to play my 4-drop now. Well, do we have the go wides? They only have 2. We know there's a Spike Field Hazard. It can't get any of our current creatures, though. So I think we go Charger, and then we add 4. And then these are attacking for 4 as well, right? So I'm just trying to do 4. We get 12. They block one of our biggest. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I think it's lethal. So we're going to... They need something here in hand. Sneaking Guide, Mystic, Night Runner, Field Research. So let's talk about the blood price not on the draw thing. Theory being we're already drawing, it's a little clunky, and we're already and being on the draw puts us on the clunk a little bit anyway. Is that the thought? I still like card draw, so that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I'm willing to run this anytime, but I'm also willing to do some tweaking per chat's thoughts. Sure. We'll swap a rage in. Let's see. We're looking at red-blue spells, red-blue wizard spells. I don't see anything else here. Unless we cut something else for the blood price. Yeah, Scion against blue and expected flyers would be something to consider. I like this start. We get a bug catcher with removal on 3. We need to find some action, though. Floodin did not want to see land as our first 2 draws on the 4-land opener. But 6 is okay. We could stop now, though. Also, we have several Fissure Wizards in the deck that can unclog this, so I'm going to hold land if we get to that point. Basically, we want 2 mountains and 3 swamps, and then we can basically cast everything. Yeah, something... Ideally, we kill something with Blast here. Unfortunately, not. We're going to feed it, though. Oh, deck, you're hilarious. So funny, deck. Literally have not drawn anything but land in 4 draws. Or 3 draws. It's all right, we got this. We're going to get our Fissure Wizards, we're going to get rid of this extra land, and be fine. Yeah, that's true. They maybe would have blocked there. Good call. Definitely should have swung. Hey, I get another chance. I get another chance, everybody. Although, looks like I actually don't, because I'm going to go ahead and kick the charger here. Although he could get anti-cogged. I'm going to risk it, though. Like, they're probably just holding it up to sack the spare parts. Right? We get attacks. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I guess I'm being risky because this could become a 3/3. You're right. I was kind of calling them on being on the supplies as opposed to an instant, but I shouldn't do that. It was too risky. You're absolutely right. But yeah, what was that, Oppo? I am just so good that I cause my opponents to do unusual things. What, isn't this what happens to you every single match you play on Arena? Yeah, that was a total shame, Scoop. After I screwed up, I was the one that screwed up, and then they let me off the hook and just gave up on it. Yeah, maybe they thought drawing Spikefield was their big out. I felt just like more of a misplay into misplay. All right, this is a sure keep, and really our big question is whether we are playing rogue as land on the play. Jinx says easy. I'm pretty greedy though, and we do have a wizard to spirit away, and rogue wearing the mace. With the wizard, I'm going to be greedy, Jinx. Ideally, we find a basic land here. No basic land, but with the ambusher, I'm going to risk it. We're going to play ambusher now and go for a base. If we draw a basic land, we get Electromancer Wizard on 3. And it's worth... yeah, so Brolos is like Wizard toss the ambusher. I'm going to be super greed and actually go ambusher and try to get the Electromancer on 3. And I think I restarted last... Well, let's see. Cardboard Live being silly. Let's give it priority and see if it fixes it. All right, Cardboard Live should be working, and of course we're never punished. That's how it works around here. Y'all know that. Yeah, we're so punished because we're not going to toss anything. This thing is going to feed the swarm at some point. It is CMC, so it doesn't matter how big this gets. We're only going to take 2 damage to kill it with feed the swarm. Survive. I think I like Awakening tapped. Yeah, and Mace the Wizard, and then what are they doing? I think we don't worry about the fledgling yet. We continue to race. Yeah, those of you who are worried about the fledgling, do you see our race potential here? We're fine. I think we're in great shape. I'm going to go Awakening, tapped, and Mace. And then if we draw a land next turn, we get Feed plus Rogue. No, that's just what I said, Radian. It's not a reading stream, but you're going to want to check that out. Yeah, if this was ratcheting up our damage off the feed, then yeah. Rabid Bite, perhaps? And now they're feeling that they can't even attack with a fledgling. Now, we could feed the Baloth, but the fledgling is actually a bigger problem for us than the Baloth, given the pace of this game. And the Electromancer... We can even feed and attack with everything still, because we have good attacks on everything. Feed the birds. Feed the birds. Tuppence. Tuppence. Tuppence a bag. I missed a point. But I couldn't play the rogue pre-combat and threaten the pump on the ambusher, which we needed to threaten the Baloth. We're cruising. We gonna 3-0 this thing? White-green landfall? Ish? More requests to side out the blood price. I, again, am fine with keeping it in. I think it's little nudges, but of course, something is correct. Something gives you more wins than the other thing. But I do like Inordinate Rage against the green. It can help us get big enough to tangle. Yeah, a fourth Fissure Wizard isn't the worst idea either. I'm kind of content with the 3, though. Sweet. We're now going to pitch a swamp to the Fissure Wizard, for sure. Ooh, we even found our mountain, though, so still going to pitch a swamp, but we are now at least safe on our charger. Nice. Glad to draw some removal for that early fledgling. Let's see what we find here. Oh, maybe we need a... Interesting. So feed can go fledgling or root grazer. If we don't root grazer, we have no attacks. The feed is going to continue to get scary. Oh, sorry, the fledgling. Root grazer really enables Oppo's strategy, which I'm worried about. Yeah, we could mace an attack, but I'm not loving the race situation that puts us in, Chimero, given that we are going to have to fire this feed off. We don't really have life gain, so we're effectively at a virtual 16 right now anyway. And feed is the play, but what are we feeding? And now I've got to decide now. I guess, yeah, all right, we'll do this. It doesn't shut down the Grazer's ability. Yes, the Grazer is shut down attack-wise, but this is a linchpin card for this color pair. It's the Signpost Uncommon, really. So just keep that in mind. It was not an easy decision for me. I think we may realize that, boy, Root Grazer is tougher than we thought. And, like, this eventually can be dealt with by a 4/4 flyer in the air, whereas this can sit back and do its ability regardless of whether we have blockers for it. Honestly, this is not bad to see, though. I mean, they're dumping out a reasonable hand and we're low on life, but if this is underwhelming here, we should be able to stabilize with a Scorch Rider and potentially into a Zagras. Molten Blast is nice, too. We can get a Gecko before it gets a counter. if we don't do this now, we may miss a chance if the Gecko gets a counter, but I think I'm with Jinx, and I still want to just play the Rider and max our mana here. We could go, with a Gecko reducing the kicker cost on something nice, but we're going to take that chance. Rootgrazer didn't put anything onto the battlefield, so probably 2 spells plus a fresh draw in hand. Ah, darn it. Oh well, we knew it was a risk. Yeah, we're still looking in fine shape, right? We got Zagras next turn, hasty. Nothing has reach here. Vine Gecko always makes me think it should have reach, but just because it looks like it's getting a flyer, but... we cut blood price on the draw and brought in rage because against big green beef, we liked the idea of being able to increase our size to match up with the big stuff. Actually, this is like the second time we've cast Zagras. I mean, we've had the warrior rare, but that card doesn't even really play that much like a rare. It plays like an uncommon to me. Yeah, I could be more aggressive. Haj is saying attack with everything. You got Death Touch, right? Or attack with the 4/3. I'm gonna I'm playing it a little more conservatively, especially knowing that we have the mace coming to throw on it. For one thing, it makes the mace bigger to leave stuff alive. For another thing, we're at 14, and we could suddenly find ourselves behind in a race if we attack all, they take it, and then do a big. I mean, they have a lot of mana too. They could end up doing the +2 all your creatures. I just feel like the correct thing to do here is to try and win with Zagras and make them stop this. They're not showing the ability to stop Zagras, and we're going to put Ravager's Mace on it. Okay, never mind. But look at what they had to do, right? They blew up everything they had for that, and we get to come back plenty strong right here. We could even go Mace, play Rage, have Rage ready, and set up for Shatterskull Charger next turn. What do you think of that? Because then we can put Mace here and have a 4/1 Menace attacker over here. Jinx wants full Charger now. Yeah, we can do small Charger and have the Rage. Kind of does a similar thing, but this builds out the board. Yeah, I'm doing my instinct to build out the board here. And now we say, who's racing whom? How are you going to deal with this? With the Inordinate Rage, Jinx, I want to encourage blocks. In this case, Inordinate Rage, what does it get us? We can 2 for 2 if we want, or we can 1 for 1 if we want. Do you like 1 for 1 or 2 for 2? I think I like clearing the board, given the Shatterskull Charger back. Agadim. What does that get us right now? Stop that. I don't have anything for the Agadim right now, but this is going to die, so we get that back. Yeah, I'm just going to bin it for right now. because we're not even cast. We need another swamp to cast it, so it doesn't do enough right now for me. I'm just gonna bin it. Don't make me mute you, Haj. Are you still trying to tell me that card's not good? Time Haj out. Anybody who cannot see the power in this card, especially in this deck, I mean, I don't know, you're being willfully obstinate at that point. All right. You are just baiting, because I don't understand, like, that's just willful, right? That is classic BCSM, or in this case, worst case scenario mentality. Nice, we get to Molten Blast. If we draw a land, we Molten Blast and Charger. Well, I'm just going to Charger and attack both. They can double block and kill the Rider, but... I like this. This is good. Demon's Disciple doing nothing except ensuring that they cannot play a creature to block us. Like, some of you people are just really clingy to your wrong-headedness. We even get to do this. We can play this if we want. We can do this way. It only made him scoop. Whatever. There was all roads led to victory there. I may have not optimized the percentage on that last turn, but it is Hot Take Tuesday. Hot takes from everybody, me included, I guess. No hot take that that deck was hot. Come on. Did we lose? Did we go to game 3 ever? Or is that a 3-0-6-0? I can't even remember. It felt like a 3-0-6-0. Felt like we just blinked and everybody was dead. Yeah, Oppos were not the strongest we've ever seen today. That's one of the benefits, frankly, of playing traditional, if what you're going for is win. Like, if what you want to do is play against the best of the best at all times, you're going to want to play in Premier and try to work your way up that ladder. But best of 3 is going to get you quite a mix of players. Spiky folks like us who are in best of 3 because it's our preferred way to play, but also more casual players. And basically, it doesn't pair you on rank. So you're, especially in that first pairing, you may find yourself against someone way different from you on skill level. And then sometimes what happens, like, okay, you get really lucky and face a much less experienced player match 1 and you win. Then in match 2, the system pairs you with another 1-0 player, but frankly, it's another medium to poor player who happened to get lucky in their first game, and there happened to be 1-0, right? So you can end up in these traditionals, you can find yourself playing against very soft competition, even all the way up to the finals. Of course, that can it can flip on you too. You can randomly be paired against Luis Scott Vargas in round 1, and you can be randomly paired against in round 2 with your 0-1 record, the random deck that got super bad luck and it was amazing, but also 0-1, right? So it does go both ways, but I'm just saying there's at least this chance, especially for above average players, that in the best of 3 realm, you're going to find players who are farther apart from you on your skill level than you would in the Premier queue. But thanks for hanging out for that one, YouTube. Hope you enjoyed a fun 3-0. We're going to take this prize. Nice gem. And this was a gold entry, by the way, so we got pure profit back on that. That's nice. Let's give a profit celebration and then say goodbye to our YouTube friends. Thank you, YouTube friends. We'll catch you in the next draft. Take care.